pretty simple question to start today's show. Is Sunday a must win game for the Philadelphia Eagles? Must win. That is the question. And I think it's a fair question. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about the entire game, keys to an Eagles victory, et cetera, et cetera. Trending in the AM, taking all your thoughts and opinions on the Eagles, Flyers, lose last night to the Seattle Kraken, everything. We're live in 60 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the all-new STT Sports Network. We are live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Do me that favor. Hit that like button and that subscribe button, that retweet button if you're watching on Twitter. Share, subscribe, follow. All those things you could do to continue to help share out the show, help continue to grow the new channel, and just have a damn good time talking Philadelphia Eagles sports, Philadelphia Eagles, and Philadelphia sports in general. Because we got Flyers we could talk about, Sixers we could talk about. I don't think anybody cares about the Phillies right now. I think we're moving on, especially after watching some entertaining baseball games yesterday. Guys, I'm Phil Stiefel, your host. You can find me at Bearded Knowledge on all social media platforms. It's Friday. It's Football Friday. It's NFL Week 7 getting underway. It's Eagles-Giants rivalry, guys. So there's lots to get into. We're going to talk about the keys to the Eagles' victory on Sunday. We're going to talk all the NFL games. There's some bangers of football games this weekend. And if anybody wants to talk Flyers losing last night 6-4, and again, the one thing I said before the Flyers season's goaltending, and Fedotov, the backup goalie, or the so to speak backup goalie, did not have a good effort last night, guys. So we got everything on the table. Peanut, my son's nickname is Bubbles, Trailer Park Boys for life. I actually don't know much about it. I know what Trailer Park Boys is. Never watched it. Bubbles is more related to Bubbles Up, the Jimmy Buffett song. Or if you really want to get into nicknames, Bubbles from The Wire. That's where else you can go with the nickname Bubbles, in my mind. Big Al, what's up, my man? Good morning to you. Must win, not to implode from a fan base standpoint, but if they lose, it really sets them back into a hole not sure they can crawl out of. Yeah, it's definitely must win for Eagles Nation's sanity and psyche. For mine as a morning show host that's going to have to come out here on Monday and talk about it, win or lose, it is a must win. But in this NFC East, Bubbles from The Wire was great. I honestly, till I saw Peanut's comment, I kind of forgot about Bubbles from The Wire. That just popped into my head randomly. Great character right there. But back to your comment, Al. In this NFC where it's up for grabs, outside the Lions and the Vikings, where there is no dominant team, or no teams running away with playoff spots, is it must win? No. But it's must win for the Eagles because I think if the Eagles go out there and lose on Sunday, the pressure on someone like Nick Sirianni, on Kellen Moore, on Jalen Hurts, and their job security and their jobs, and the pressure they're going to face from the media is really bad. So I almost feel like, it is a must-win game to an extent because I don't think this Eagles team needs any more media distractions, needs any more problems to deal with, on a regular basis. If they lose on Sunday, are they going to fire Nick Sirianni? Probably not. That still doesn't make it not a must-win game. Must win we normally relate to having to make they have to win to make the playoffs in any sport. Must win game to get the season off on the right foot, make the must win game to make the playoffs, must win game to extend your season. If they lose on Sunday, it does not eliminate them from any possibility of making the playoffs. Obviously, there's a great chance of them making the playoffs, win, lose, or draw on Sunday. Click something there. The thing is, the must win comes into just all the other things that go on if they lose the game, not just from a fan perspective, but a general perspective. So I do think it is must win, and it's must win for them to come out and come out on fire. None of these slow starts to a game or anything like that. Again, 5 games so far this year. They're 3-2. Combined yardage on their 5 opening drives is 22 yards. That's not good enough. They need to come out fast. Not fast as in big, bold, explosive plays, just a strong offensive performance. And they got to beat up a very beat-up Giants team. They got to dominate a beat-up Giants team. Now, while we've handled the Giants overall over the last 5 to 10 years, the last 4 games at MetLife Stadium have not been good for the Eagles overall. So it's a very important game. It's a must-win game, in my opinion, because it doesn't eliminate us from the playoffs, but it brings a lot of other issues to the table that we don't need to deal with as Eagles fans. Do the Birds shove Barkley down the Giants' throat this Sunday? They should. They better. Will they? That's the question. That's the $1 million question, Peanut. I mean, last week, let's just think again about the first drive last week against the Cleveland Browns. They hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley. He goes and gets 5 or 6 yards. Then they go deep back shoulder fade and deep on the right side, one to A.J. Brown, one to Devontae Smith, low percentage plays, drive stall, just like that. Why wouldn't you give it to him again? Why wouldn't you give a crossing route? Why wouldn't you run a screen play? You know, I was listening to, and say what you will, Dan Orlovsky over the years has gone from somebody I really loved the work of, kind of gone downhill a little bit. But he said something on Get Up or one of the ESPN shows. I didn't watch the show, but I saw the clip, that the Eagles are the most unprepared team in the league. He's talking about the coaching. He's calling out the coaching in this instant. Okay? And he's right. Because the first 15 scripted plays are on the coach. How a team starts a game is on the coach more than anything else. And when he said it, it struck a nerve. It struck a nerve with the Eagles fans calling him a bozo and an idiot. People will just see certain reporters say stuff or media people say something, and they'll just say, you're an idiot, you're a bozo, whatever. And don't really listen to the words the person is saying because they have this preconceived notion that person's a bozo. But the Eagles are extremely underprepared to start games week in and week out. So feeding Saquon Barkley the ball isn't just important. It's important at the start of the game. The Eagles have this mentality of playing backwards. Normally, you run the ball to set up the pass. You have short passes to set up the big explosive plays. The Eagles think they should start out explosive and then run plays, and that should set up the run. Stop outthinking yourself. Do things the normal way. Go about things the normal way, and maybe it'll actually have a normal result. Peanut says, this game is must win, no question. And you know what? I agree. I think this game is must win for the Eagles. Not because it eliminates them. It's not like they're going to have 0% playoff odds on their ESPN standings thing. No. It's must win because you can't go out there and lose to the Giants on Sunday and have people take you seriously and have job security going forward. What's up, Duck? Good morning. I already saw your Bubbles comment, but I never said good morning, so good morning. If we lose to the New Jersey Giants, Sirianni should be canned and buried under MetLife with Hoffa. I thought Hoffa was buried somewhere else. Anyway, should, yes. Would he be? Probably not. And that's the problem. But at least the pressure would start to be building to fire him, to move on to him. Okay? Heads would start to roll. There would be some conversations to be had. Should he? Sure. Will he? I don't think so. You ain't lying, Duck. They lose this game, then heads need to roll. But see, the thing is, what heads are going to roll? They're not going to fight. They're not going to can Sirianni. We got to be honest with ourselves. Nick Sirianni is not going anywhere, at least till the end of the season, or at least till they're out of playoff contention. In my humble opinion, that is how it plays out. In my opinion, keep it simple, stupid needs to be the game plan. It sounds so simple, but yet the Eagles continue to not do this on a regular basis. They continue to outthink themselves. They continue to play backwards. I hate it when a pitcher pitches backwards. Well, I really hate it when an offense calls a game plan, the scripted game plan, backwards. You hear all this talk about Bryce Huff this week and how much more successful last week he was when he was put in a 4-point stance. And you hear Vic Fangio talk this week, and he basically, I'm paraphrasing, we're not just going to put him in a 4-point stance all the time because that's what he likes. He's got to learn to run our defense. Well, that's not keeping it simple. You've got a $50 million player, play him the right way. They do so much on this team to kick themselves in the ass. The amount of talent on this team, on this roster, it shouldn't be this kind of conversation. And that's what's so frustrating about it. That's right. Absolutely. 100%. Dominate. You mean you'll take a 20-17 win? Only stats that matters. No. Look, I understand. There's a very good chance that it's a close game. It shouldn't be. Now, I will put a touch of onus in the fact that it is a division rival game, and very rarely are NFC East games blowouts. But you can win 20-17 in a confident way. Maybe they're up 20-3. You give up some garbage time touchdowns, whatever. But if it's a similar performance to last week against the Cleveland Browns, that's not a win in my book. Big picture. That's not a win in my book in the confidence meter, Marshawn. I'm already on to your side, the dark side of things are going wrong with this team. Yes, he has become one over the years. But people just saw a clip of him talking about the Eagles, didn't listen to his clip. And really what he said was that Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio aren't doing their job. Well, actually, he said Vic Fangio is doing his job because the defense is saving them most of the time in the first quarter. Well, all he did was talk about the 22 yards on the first 5 opening drives of the season and how that is on the coaches and their scripted plays and their preparedness of this team. So while lately he has been over the last couple of years, there was a time that Orlovsky was like a dream interview for me on this channel or on this show. Now, I don't really care now, but he wasn't wrong. Getting that first down is the most important. Sets the tone. No, even if they go 6 and out or something like that, or 5 and out on the first drive out, just getting a first down on the first drive for the first time this season would be so much immense, like a weight off the shoulders of this team. It really would. It would really be a big deal for this team. I just can't, I know they've struggled on first drives of the year so far, but when you hear the number 22 yards on 5 drives, 4.2 yards a drive on the opening drive, it boggles me. It blows my mind how bad they have been at the start of the season. I think the Eagles are really trying to hit big plays to start, and it isn't working so far. I don't think that's actually lack of preparation. But it is. See, all right, so maybe lack of preparation is wrong. Maybe it's philosophy that's wrong. You don't need to start big plays every opening drive. Now, we've gone 5 straight weeks, and it hasn't worked ever, Anthony. So if it's not working, why continue to do it? We've talked about it for weeks. You've got to set Jalen Hurts up for success and get him in a rhythm, in a groove, and you do that by running the football, those mesh routes, those crossing routes, quick slants to A.J. Brown, a screen play to Saquon Barkley. Simple plays gets the offense moving. And then you could try to go for the big explosive play. I don't even like using the word big explosive play. It's like the cool word. Oh, they like explosive plays. It's like to be stupid. It's not working. So why keep trying? Because you're putting yourself in a hole every single game, momentum-wise. You're putting your defense on their heels instantly every single week. You just got to keep it simple to start a game. The what? I'm sorry. Here it is. That's the one that got deleted, but it got deleted on YouTube. Didn't get deleted on my screen. The city of New York has problems sitting down this morning. I'm sorry. Why? I'm not sure. Oh, because of the Yankees game with blowing that one there. Yeah, probably. Now the fan base care about how a win looks. Eagles fans more confused than women when they ask you what to eat. Oh, man. I love that. Where do you want to eat? I don't care. So you should open up a restaurant that's called the I Don't Care Bar and Grill. It's not that. It's how you win. If you win there's a confident win and there's a struggling win. Last week was a struggled win. It's a win that felt like it wasn't going to happen, even as the seconds ticked off the clock. There are close wins that aren't ugly wins. And you know that, Marshall. You're just trying to rile me up right from the get-go today. What's going on, everybody? Brian, how you doing? Sunday is an important game. It's a division game. It's the Giants. It should be a game they need to come out flying in the first quarter. Flying doesn't mean throwing 50-yard bombs on the second play. They need to play a simplified game. If they lose, heads should roll. But no, they won't. I agree we should not be having this. That's the big key of everything. We've only been here for 16 minutes today. 2 people voted no, they haven't subscribed. What the F is wrong with you? I know one of those is probably Marshawn or K1. Maybe both of them are Marshawn and K1. You should be watching on the YouTube page, and you should be hitting that subscribe button, guys. We shouldn't be having this discussion. We shouldn't have to have this discussion. Fan base is caught up in confirmation bias, echo chamber nonsense. I'm sorry, but it's put up or shut up time for the Eagles. They're past week 5. They had their bye. It's just time to show up and show everyone is on the same page. It starts at the beginning of the game, though, Nooms. It starts with how Nick Sirianni designs the opening drives. Do they keep it simple, stupid, or do they actually continue to go with what's not working? It's pretty simple. You need to get Jalen Hurts in a groove. It's very simple. We can see it even in 2022. You had to get him in a rhythm, and once that rhythm was going, that's when that's when great things happen. And they're not doing it. I talked about the scripted play since game 1 against the Packers. They need to step away from it sooner. Step away from it sooner. What I don't understand why even the scripted play is a thing. Why do we even script plays in 2024 anymore? Shouldn't they just have a game plan, go out on the field, and just in the moment, after the first play, like the first play can be scripted, whether you get the ball first or you don't get the ball first. Outside of that, there should be nothing scripted. Whatever happens on play 1 goes into game play 2. There should be no scripted play past play 1 ever in 2024. We're smarter than that. At least we should be. Just a project you can have just a project you have to set up a small wins and achievable goals. Yeah, you have a big goal, but you have to have small goals. Getting the first down on the first drive, that's a small goal. And that small goal can then lead to maybe the goal of scoring on your opening drive. And then, things can, start building. The explosives worked in 22, so they kept trying to go back to that. It's not working anymore. Is Marshawn a Matty B burner count? No, definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not. Marshawn is just my man. I have no issues with going deep if it sets up the run, but this team isn't. See, the thing is, I have no problems with going deep. The problem is going deep on your second play of the game, the first pass of the game. It's so low percentage. You got to play the percentages too. Deep balls are low percentage, even with A.J. Brown catching them, even with Devontae Smith high pointing them. They're low percentage plays. Okay? And when you're not in a rhythm yet, all right, get the first down and then go for the deep ball. Get a little bit of momentum. Get a little bit of a groove going. Get Jalen Hurts in the flow of the game. Get the offensive line in the flow of the game. You don't just fling it up there. And if you are going to throw deep balls, you just can't have 2 guys running deep down the sideline and just pick a side. You got to have something going over the middle to draw in a safety. You got to have something going on. How did the Yankees blow that game? Honestly, I wasn't watching it. I got a DM. I got a text message from my man Jim, the realtor. He's like, yo, did you just see what happened? I'm like, dude, I had a bad day, like a tiring day at work last night. I literally sat on my couch. The Smithsonian channel was the last thing on my TV. It was World War II in color. I turned on the TV. Smithsonian channel was on. I was watching reels and I dozed off on my couch. So I didn't even know what happened until I got a text. So yeah. Phil responds to my optics comments. It's not that. Also proceeds to break down the difference between a confident win and just a win. No, you're trying to rile me up. I think I believe you know what I'm talking about. All right. There are two types of wins. Grinded out wins are okay when they sprinkled in with some convincing wins. Grinded out wins are okay when they happen a certain way. When it's two great teams going neck and neck. Remember that playoff game a few years back, the Bills versus the Chiefs? That was a grinded out win to an extent. Both teams just kept marching down the field, scoring, whatever. The way Eagles have been winning haven't been last week wasn't a grinded out win. Last week was a battle of attrition, the worst team who can screw it up the most. That's what it is. Sirianni should put down those stupid self-help books and pick up Who Moved My Cheese. It's under 100 pages. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to hear any more John Wooden. Hear him dropping John Wooden quotes last week or earlier in the week. Michael Jordan quotes earlier in the week. Oh. But what Nick Sirianni needs to do is just put the book down and let Kellen Moore 100% do what he needs to do. Oh, man. The Big Al Marshawn fight. We don't know what Marshawn looks like. I know Big Al's a big guy. I don't know how big Marshawn is. We have to see who would win in that fight. Good morning, Michkov. Another assist last night for you. Flyers lost 6-4 to the Kraken. I think we know. I said goalie was going to be an issue. Fedotov, I don't know. Fedotov definitely did not have a good game last night for the Flyers. I didn't watch past much of it, but, I turned it on in the bedroom as I was falling asleep, trying to fall asleep. It's Mitchy Poo forever, but it's Michkov for right now. The scripted play is to test the defense and its general reaction. I get that, but I think we script too much in the NFL as a whole, not just with the Eagles. You should be able to have more flexibility in the scripted plays right from the get-go. What is up, my main man, Adam? How are you today? Happy Friday, Stevie Fuentes, my man. Hope you're doing well. Must win and a dominant way for the Eagles is the only option Sunday. But I don't have the confidence that they can do that, Stevie. And that's the problem. Like, I don't feel good about I feel okay that they can win on Sunday. I don't feel confident. Let me give you Stevie's a gambling guy like me. The last 8 times the Eagles have been a favorite, betting favorite in a game, do you know they've only covered the spread one of those 8 times? And they're only a 3-point favorite. So if they don't cover a 3-point spread, that almost feels like it's going to be a loss. 3 points is basically, most wins 3 points or more. They're 1-7 their last 8 against the spread, covering the spread. They got a 3-point line right now. A scary moment there. As a betting man, that makes me scared. I love when a degenerate gambler preaches about playing the percentage. I'm no degenerate gambler. I bet $3 on the Thursday night football game last night, and I lost. Are we going to score in the first quarter final? Are we going to get a first down on the first drive, Adam? That is more important. It's Phil and in the morning. Yeah, it is sometimes. I'm not trying to manipulate you at all. Oh, you're trying. You don't understand. I could be manipulated very easily. I just go with the flow. They call me a flip-flopper sometimes. Well, there's one person that called me that. Phil is easily triggered. I don't know if I'm easily triggered. I'm a flip-flopper. I'm just trying to keep the flow going. That's it. I'm a lover, never a fighter. Yeah. I'm not a fighter because I fight dirty, and no one wants to fight against a dirty fighter. You guys see that guy from Baltimore, there's an arrest warrant out for him for knocking out 2 commie fans last week? Jesus, what an idiot. Whoever Noel is greater than Nerlens Noel. Such a great win for the Guardians, especially given Judge and Stanton both got. Yeah. Look, I don't see Trinidad in here this morning hyping up his Yankees yet. After, I guess, the Trinidad guy that's been following us the last couple days, I guess he's wallowing in his tears of sorrow after last night's game. Eagles offense more scripted than Cody's story. Yeah, like I'm over Cody's story. And I'm over the Eagles offense. That is for sure. Fedotov is really struggling so far this year in his 2 games. Yes, it's very concerning because they need to get Sam breaks. I still don't have full confidence in Sam, but if Fedotov would be decent, it would help us a little bit. Anthony, yeah, he did not look good from what I saw last night. Destroying the Giants won't prove anything. It's true, Barbara. Just say, hypothetically speaking, everyone, the Eagles go out on Sunday. I'm not believing this will happen, but they go out on Sunday and win 35-10. On Monday, all we'll hear is on the radio, on TV, well, it was just Daniel Jones and the Giants. We know that, right? We know that that's the answer. If we win 20-17, you should have smoked them. If you smoke them, well, it's just the Giants. The narrative will always be negative. Phil, can you find the Flyers a goalie? Been looking for a goalie since 1988 for the Flyers, Barb, and they still haven't found them. Yeah, he's not showing up here today. Not a chance in the world. We can agree on that one, right, Marshawn? We can agree that Trinidad ain't showing up. I believe in Joe Hendry. I do not. Like I say, Flyers a goalie away. I've been saying it since 88, 89, the first time they got rid of Hextall? Young 8, 9-year-old Phil saying it was a bad decision to get rid of Hextall the first time. This was my first good take. Eagles offense got more vanilla than the Celtics bench. Yeah, Marshawn, and it shouldn't be like that. You've got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, probably the best wide receiver duo in football. You got Saquon Barkley, who's 4th in the NFL in rushing, and we've played one less game than a lot of other teams because we had our bye early. You got an elite offensive line. You got Jalen Hurts, a almost time MVP. Had to throw that in there. What gives? It can be some on Jalen Hurts, absolutely. It also can be some, well, probably heavily in my favor on the Sirianni, Kellen Moore. It's that connection. It's just not working because you're not giving Kellen Moore the keys. Now, I don't know if Kellen Moore would be better if he had 100% control. It still might fall on you've got to find the perfect coordinator coach that's going to properly maximize what talent Jalen Hurts has. In 2022, we did that with Shane Steichen. Since then, we haven't found a way to maximize what Jalen Hurts can do. We throw snowballs at a drunk Santa 60 years ago, and the media still talks about it. And this is the first I'm hearing about an assault. You didn't hear about that? You didn't see the video on social media, Duck? I don't want you to go away from the show, but pull up on the side screen. This guy was just marching down the street, looked like he was jacked up on roids or coke, and he's just like calling out people. He sees 2 guys in commie jerseys, and he just sucker punched the one guy right in the face. He falls back, hits his head on a car. He goes up to the other guy and just starts wailing on him. And he's like, "Arr!" And he was bragging about it on social media. The cops found him right away. Supposedly, from what I've seen, he's been a D-bag since high school. The first drive of the game needs to end in points. I don't care if it's a field goal or a touchdown, but you only have 22 total yards on opening drives. It's pathetic. No first downs. Extremely pathetic. I'm a little disappointed Briere didn't go into the season with a solid backup like the Moose. Hextall was dealt in 92 in the I was 92. That's why I remember it so well. Because I was curious because I'm like, my real Flyers fandom started with Lindros. So I'm not sure why I was thinking 88, 89 there. Kellen Moore is finding out that Hurts is limited in what he could do. And Jalen Hurts is limited. Most quarterbacks are limited. Most quarterbacks are not plug and play in any system. Okay? You need to design your offense around your quarterback. Jalen Hurts can do certain things. He can't do other things. Okay? But the thing is Kellen Moore being told you've got to do this? Nick Sirianni should know what Jalen Hurts' strengths and weaknesses are. But it's just not happening, Barbara. So I don't know. I'm willing to admit that Jalen Hurts, he's still my guy, but he has those limitations. The problem is they're not designing the plays. They're not scripting the plays to feature what Jalen Hurts can and cannot do. And that's the problem. What can't Jalen Hurts do? Right now, he can't run a read option. Outside of that one, he was questioned about the read options. And he's like, well, he had that one for first down on third down there that got 8 yards. So, yeah, the read option doesn't work anymore. He's run one successful one all season long, but yet they keep doing it. It doesn't make sense. Sixers are not on TV tonight. Oh, well, that sucks. I'm sure you'll be live somewhere, Mitchie Poo, tonight, even if they're not on TV, just tracking the box score. I'm going to pick a game next week, and I'm going to do a live stream of Sixers game next week. Maybe I'll even do the first game of the year. Maybe I'll do Wednesday night live with my TV here and go live for the game. Flyers haven't had a true elite goalie since Pele Lindbergh. Yeah, possibly. It's been a long time, and I don't get it. It's like we don't understand the Eagles' offensive system this year. I don't understand the philosophy of the Flyers to not care about goalies going on 600 years now. All you need to know about they're fixed back to one. It's not just the local fans. The league knows what. Yeah, I mean, we barely touched on this week, Nooms. The Bengals game next week was flexed out of the 425 spot for it was the Bears Commanders, I think it was. Bears Commanders. And we're a 1 o'clock game next week now. That's all you need to know. When you get in week 8 flexed out, when you're the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the 4 biggest media markets in the country, and you're flexed out of a 4 o'clock game, when you've got star players, that tells me something right there about the team. That tells me something about the perspective or the perception of this team. Hurts needs to learn to play under center. That's how Kellen Moore offense thrives. The thing is, they're not even trying to run him under center. Is that because he can't? Or is it because that is not what Nick Sirianni wants? It's a question. I'd love to see K1 because I don't know the exact numbers. I had in my notes earlier in the week. I don't know if I could find them, the percentages of under center that they ran. Let me see a quick glance if I could find this. I doubt I could find this quickly here. I take way too many notes throughout the week here. Yeah, I can't find it. But the percentage of plays that they do run under center, which are very low, I wonder what the success rate on those plays are. Because there was a under center play I remember last week where it's the first time I've ever seen a pitch. Like I don't know what you pitch it to Saquon Barkley in the backfield. I think it's the first time I've seen Jalen Hurts ever pitch a ball to a running back in the backfield and run a sweep outside. And it was a successful play. I don't know what the success rate. Is it Jalen Hurts or is it the style of the offense? Stop. I looked up the assault and I also got one more where a commie fan was being assaulted at a Cards game. Yeah, but yet it's all the Eagles. I haven't seen the Ravens guy on SportsCenter or ESPN or Fox News or anywhere once. It's always the Eagles and Snowball at a drunk Santa fan. That's it. What's up, Chet? Good morning to you. I know you'll have a good weekend because every weekend for you is good. Nothing like watching and being friends with Chet on Facebook. This guy's at breweries, at wineries. He's always having fun. He's always out and about, rubbing elbows with celebrities. Chet is the coolest dude in the world that I know. He is. Living his best life. Phil is not working out. It's not working out for Hurts here. Maybe he would do better on another team. My goal of winning the Super Bowl is not happening with him. Look, you're not getting rid of Jalen Hurts, Barbara. I did like a week ago because I knew people were talking about it. I was just curious. So for curiosity's sake, I looked at his contract. The dead cap hit, if you move on from Jalen Hurts after this year or next year, it's astronomical. It's like one of the years it's like $125 million dead cap hit. The other year it's like $100 million dead cap. You cannot move on from him until 2026. So he ain't going anywhere. So you've got him this year and next year at a minimum. So what you got to do is you got to find a way to make it work. And that's the coaches looking at what Jalen Hurts' strengths and weaknesses are. You get him in a groove with short passes to start before you start the explosive plays. You run the football with Saquon Barkley, who you're paying $30-some million to run the football. You do those things. You set them up for success. It's not that the read option doesn't work. They're not setting it up correctly, and when they do, Hurts is making some bad reads. I don't know if he's making bad reads. It's that he takes in my opinion, it's that he takes too long to make the read. So if you make the right read quick enough, versus if you make the right read, but you take too long, the defense has time in that split second to make an adjustment. It's not because of the Bengals either, because they just had Bengals versus Giants on Sunday. That's true. They did let the Bengals Giants. That was probably one of the worst Sunday night football games there was in a while. Good morning, Joe. How you doing this morning? I would love for you to go back through your quarterback rankings that you did this summer. See how it's changing. God. What do I got? Where are they? Here we go. I can't see them on the screen. Yeah, Burrow ain't number 2. Hurts ain't number 4. Yeah. And Rodgers isn't top 10. Matthew Stafford's not top 10. Yeah, this is, I don't even want to, no. You know what? Let's not look at how bad I was with those predictions earlier in the season. Jalen Hurts is limited, but does have a special set of skills. And I will find you. Set that can be unlocked with a competent head coach or coordinator that has full control, Stevie. That's the thing. I think the biggest issue is the fact that Kellen Moore was told he's got 100% control. Nick Sirianni said, I'm going to give up control. He's not. Nick Sirianni wants to do X. Kellen Moore wants to do Y. They're not adding the two together. They're not mixing it right. You got two boneheaded guys going at it. Yeah, Barber is totally out. And just to appease people, I did look into if it's possible to get out. It just ain't possible, K1. I know we made the playoffs in 2021 with $60 million in dead cap when we got rid of Carson Wentz in that offseason. But, man, are you really going – what's the salary cap, $240 million? Or whatever, something like that? You can't be getting rid of a guy and taking a $125 million dead cap hit. You just can't do it. Could be so bad. Chet is the man about town. We all want to – dude, I live through Chet, man. I do. Chet is the man. It's Chet's world. We just rent space. Dude, Chet is the most laid-back, calm, collected, cool guy there is. Oh, look, Barb, I'll get back to your comment, but Trinidad's here. We've already been talking trash on you, Trinidad, that you weren't even going to show up today because of last night. We'll just leave that at that. But, guys, let's give Trinidad a round of applause for showing up despite his Yankees getting it handed to him last night. Hurts is on pace for almost 200 carries. That's what he does. And I've said it before. I said it before. That's not the way to win football games. It's not. No. We're not going to give – come on. You dish it out. You got to know how to – if you dish it out, you got to receive it. You know the rules of being a trash talker. It's a two-way street, Trinidad. You know that, okay? What's up, my man? How you doing today? Do you think that Nick is going to be fired at the end of the year? It depends. It depends on the results of the season. It depends on what happens. If they miss the playoffs, absolutely. If they struggle and barely get in and lose in the first round, maybe. If they win a playoff game, no chance in hell. If they win their division, probably not. I still think they can win 11 games this year. They win 11 games and win their division? Probably not. Come on. You got to know what's going to happen there, right? Yeah, K1, we can give him a round of applause for having the guts to show his face in here after that. But he's got to be willing to accept it. All right? He's a trash talker. He better be willing to accept the trash talking. Michkov says, what if Daniel Jones has a better game than Jalen Hurts? I mean, yeah. We're going to have a conversation. Look, you guys have seen me flip-flop. I'm trying to tone down the Jalen Hurts rhetoric this year. I'm seeing it. But again, he is our guy. He is our guy because we're stuck with him. Y'all ain't the ones pissing me off, nor the loss. It's the Yankees fans that have been losing, so they have this defeatist mentality going. Well, I mean, Philly fans are the same way to an extent. I know it's not just the no trade clause; it's the cap hit if you did. Because a no trade clause doesn't mean you can't trade a person. A no trade clause just means you have to get their approval to trade them. So. That would take now the dead cap hit still the dead cap hit still happens. Even if you trade him, sometimes it gets adjusted, but they can't take your cap hit on. They can take the salary on, but a lot of the dead cap hit money is because of the bonuses that are dished out up front of these contracts. Jalen Hurts is only making like a couple $1 million a year. It's the upfront money that they give these guys in bonuses to work the cap. So you have salary cap space. But if you get rid of them, then you got to pay all that money in your cap. Boston owns 21st Century Sports and other cities bitch about it. Yeah. What we're even talking about here. I made a post. You might see it on Twitch. I don't have a Twitch account. Told them to turn it in their Yankees merch. Their attitudes reminds me of Mets fans. The Mets lost 2 last night. Oh, Twitter. I don't know. Do I follow you on Twitter, Trinidad? I don't know. Shoot me a follow if we don't follow each other. Or send me a DM so I know who you are on Twitter. There's my Twitter handle right there. Always glad to follow somebody new. Yankees fans should be self-delete. Should be on self-delete watch. Yeah. Look, we same thing happens to us Eagles fans and Phillies fans and Sixers fans. I ain't deleting nothing. We went against a lefty. Here's a secret. I cheer for my Yankees, whatever. We cheer for our teams. We might bitch and moan about our Phillies teams. We still cheer them on. We might be sitting here being extremely negative about the Eagles, but we're all going to be sitting on our couch on Sunday cheering them on. And then if they lose, bitching about it the next day. If they win, still bitching about it the next day. That is just what we do. Not having A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith in the lineup has contributed to the carries for Hurts. How many of those runs have led to key first downs to keep drives alive? It's a double-edged sword, Hurts running. Yeah, it is. I get it. And maybe, yeah. Maybe the injuries are a factor. Maybe the slow starts in the first drive are a factor with A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown was out there last week, Steve, and you just chose to throw the most low percentage second play of the game, a back shoulder 40-yard throw to A.J. Brown. I don't care that A.J. Brown is one of the strongest wide receivers in football. He can catch almost anything. It's a low percentage play, and it doesn't get your offense in the rhythm that they need to be in. That's what you need to do. Kingpin Rain, okay, I'll have to send me a message. I don't know if I follow you, but I'll have to. Hey, don't. And I know you're a big Scotty guy. Scotty will be on the show next week on Wednesday, getting us kicking off the Sixers season. Scotty, my man, DSM Media will be here on Wednesday, helping me get us set for Sixers, Bucks, Game 1, and all my Sixers predictions for the year, which some might surprise you. It will be a sad day in Philly. We have nothing to. Yeah. It'll be a sad day in Philly when I don't do this show anymore, K1, and you have nothing to do in your mornings. You'll have to go listen to some other nitwit talk instead of this nitwit talking. That day ain't coming anytime soon, but someday there'll be a day. Steve, he carries a lot 2022 and 23. Why is Barkley? Exactly. Why is Saquon Barkley here, Barbara? 2 weeks ago, we ran him 10 times, or 2 games ago, 10 times. It's not enough. It's not good enough. Last week, the Browns did stack the box. Now, the New York Giants are getting Malik Neighbors back and Wandale Robinson back. So they're getting their offensive weapons for Daniel Jones back. But it's trending in the direction that Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns both won't be playing on Sunday. They've both been held out of practice. You obviously already got Andrew Thomas out. Thibodeau is out for the game. Their defense and their starting left tackle are out. So we should be able to run the football. We should be able to. They don't send the same excessive blitzes that Wink Martindale used to do. You know, Bowen, their new defensive coordinator, he's a lot of 4-man, 5-man, just your 4-down linemen getting after the quarterback. They do it well, but a lot of their top guys are going to be out. So you can run the ball against this Giants team. They give up almost 120 yards a game rushing, whereas they don't give up. They average less than 200 yards passing. They get a lot of sacks. Yet most of their sack guys are out this week. On a side note, did you guys see on the practice report yesterday? Popped up out of nowhere. Jalen Carter's shoulder issue did not practice yesterday. That could be a big loss for this defense if Jalen Carter can't go. There's been no rumors, no comments, nothing about Jalen Carter and why he didn't play or practice yesterday. It's just he was there. That's a big potential loss of the game on Sunday. Our MASH unit. You think Barkley will run more since he's playing again? I don't know if they'll design a game plan just to feed him the ball because it's his old team. He says he doesn't even care about it. I doubt that he really means that. I think he does truly care about it. But yeah, it's not just the loss for the Yankees. It's the kick in the nuts that reminds me of the Flyers tying the series against Pittsburgh after being 2-0 in the series. Yeah. Barkley averages 18 carries a game. Where does this narrative come from? Well, because he rushed 10 times against the Buccaneers in a game that he should have carried the ball more again in. But there's that. I would figure he'd be north of 20, but we know that they're not going to do that. And I didn't realize it was 18 carries a game. It feels like they're just not using him enough or in the right moments. Maybe the 10 carries in a game really sticks in my head. Winning that 5 overtime game and taking the moment, that 5 overtime game, I was there. No, I wasn't there. I was watching it. I was at that. I was at every game of that series at home. I had a connection for playoff tickets that year. That 5 overtime game was on the road, I believe. Dallas Goedert hurt again. Here we go again. He has missed 17 games over the last 5 years. That's an entire NFL season. Albert O might be one of your starting tight ends this week against the Giants. Grant Calcaterra will be a starting tight end. Or Jack Stahl or C.J. Uzma. The tight end situation. Again, we talked about it yesterday, Adam. It's something that's been going on for a long-ass time, Adam. That's no bueno. Dallas Goedert is injury prone. Last year, everyone's like, well, it was a bad tackle by the Cowboys player that pulled him down. But he's injured again. Every time, every year, he gets hurt. But yet we don't invest in tight end 2. In this offseason, we're going to have to invest in tight end 1, Adam. Not tight end 2. Tight end 1. Because you can't trust Dallas Goedert. I just feel like Sirianni is getting in the way of both offensive and defensive play calling. Look, the defensive play calling, I don't know if he's getting in the way. He stuck his nose in there. I doubt Vic Fangio is letting Nick Sirianni call plays. His antics on the sideline are definitely nauseating, just shit managing of the team. Look, Dan Orlovsky said it. I know everybody doesn't like him. But he's spot on. They're the most unprepared team in the league. And you can't win football games if you do not prepare throughout the week correctly. Plain and simple, Steve. And the antics are what they are. T-shirt gate is back this week. Rocking a Reed Blankenship shirt. Do we realize that the 2 interceptions for Reed Blankenship are the only interceptions we've got all year? Or only turnovers all year? That's not good enough. Not good enough. Stupid narratives are stupid. Yeah, sure. Sixers can't have nice things. Jared McCain has a bruised lung. What did they call it? A pulmonary contusion? Dude, if you're a Sixers fan, you don't need to stay at a Holiday Inn. You could be a doctor. You got thoracic outlet syndrome. You got pulmonary contusions. We know more medical terms as Sixers fans than anything else. Look, all things considered, Jared McCain got lucky, Mitch. Michkov, Mitchy Poo. That fall could have been so much more serious. That fall, the way he was gasping for air and like bending his body, it was a problem. I was really scared for the kid. It was a hard fall. It really was. You know, start putting like wrestling ring, like, you know, springs underneath it just to protect their falls. We haven't had a good tight end since Selkin. Dallas Goedert's a really good tight end when he's healthy. Problem is he isn't healthy. You can't help the club from the tub. He is. He's on par with Zach Ertz. Maybe a step below. He might be as good, if not better, than Brent Selleck, really, Adam. But those guys stayed healthy. Nick Sirianni or Dallas Goedert never stays healthy. Sirianni said, yeah, he did. Vic Fangio shut that down pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. Nick Sirianni's got the attitude of taking bullets for his team, so to speak. He was trying to take a bullet probably for his team. Probably. Basically, Steve, that's the way I would look at it. That's supposed to be his role as a CEO type manager of a team, coach of a team, is to take the bullets. He just gets involved in too much other. He might be involved in the game planning on defense. He might, like Vic Fangio said, tell Vic Fangio to keep an eye out for certain things. He should just be away. Problem is, Vic Fangio is not free of criticism either. The fact that he blatantly says, yeah, I know Bryce Huff needs to be in a 4-point stance, but that's not what we do. He needs to learn what we do correctly. So Vic Fangio is not clear of criticism this year. The fact that he continues to run square pegs into round holes every single week, that is a problem that nobody talks about. We love Vic Fangio's honesty, but no one wants to question him when he does something not so right. And he's done some things not so right this year. It's not easy to avoid injury in football. It's true. It's just not worth getting bent over. But when you're a player and you're hurt every single year, multiple games every single year, that's a problem. Sirianni antics were applauded here 2 years ago. So was that Fat Dom last year grabbing an opposing player. Look, I've said it. I said it earlier this week even. I've said it before, but I said it earlier this week. I'm over the big Dom stuff. Overexposed. I don't even want to hear. I should not know who the head of security on the sideline is for the Eagles. I just should. And Sirianni's antics, I got into a big beef with one of my good, friends in the podcasting game over that. Because I didn't like the antics from day one of training camp 1. That's where I came up with the title T-shirt gate. Whose T-shirt is he going to wear today? And my man, Scooter, hated it. I had Scooter on a show, and we debated, or maybe I went on his show, and we debated how much I hated T-shirt gate and how those antics were going to eventually catch up to Sirianni with veteran players. Love those antics or not. The antics have been a problem for me since day one with Nick Sirianni. Day one. Not his fumbled press conferences, not his word salads, the T-shirts, the antics. Contusion is a fancy doctor word for a bruise, yeah. But we know all the fancy words as Sixers fans because Sixers doctors never give us he's got a lung bruise or, a bruise on his lungs. They got to use pulmonary contusion, thoracic outlet syndrome. Hey, muchas gracias, Trinidad. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hey, we love you here. You might be a New York fan, but we love you here. I welcome one. I welcome all. The title of this show is Trend in the AM. The tagline is where your opinions matter. They might not be right like you, but they matter. It's the only show where you don't got to pay to have your voice and opinion heard. Between Goddard and Maddox, the Eagles have lost like 3 seasons of the – absolutely. So, to counter Noom's point, injuries do matter. Because when you're relying on a guy every single year, you don't have a backup plan every single year, and those players continue to miss games every single year, you're putting your team in a hole. Now, thank goodness we don't have to worry about Avonte Maddox anymore. Cooper DeJean will be out there 99% of the plays going forward. That's a good thing. I would like to see if we ramp up. I'd like to see, with Andrew Thomas, left tackle of the Giants being out, I'd like to see more of those Cooper DeJean slot blitzes on that left side. Attack that left side. Vic Fangio better be ready to attack that left side with blitzes, stunts, whatever. Whoever's filling in over there. Attack that. Really get hard into that side there. I thought Jared McCain was absolute dog shit for the Nets before the injury anyway. Yeah, I don't get the Jared McCain hype. He's good. He's got a chance. Most likely he'll be very little importance of this team this year. He might even be trade bait later on in this season. I wouldn't be shocked if they traded him. I appreciate you, my man. I appreciate you. Tell one, tell all. They got to subscribe to this channel. I'm going to continue to add to this channel. I'm going to continue to add more shows, more content, maybe some live watch parties, a little this, a little that. We're going to have a lot of fun on this channel. Me too, Phil. Crazy people like that nonsense with him and Fat Dom, not me and you. Look, I thought it was cool. I won't lie, Barber. The first time Fat Dom, got involved in something, but that was it. I was ready to move on to it from it instantly. And the T-shirts, I don't care. Everybody on Twitter the other day, oh, look at him wearing a Reed Blankenship shirt, support this player. No. I don't care. I don't care. I want winning football. I want strong, solid winning football. I want this team to play great and win games and win a Super Bowl. I could care less about all the other antics. I don't want the other antics around my team. You build a deep team and you have cultural buy-in and you get 2017. That's exactly correct, Noobs. We don't have depth behind some of these supposed injured players that we're talking about. Albert O ain't no, remember when Zach Ertz was here, Dallas Goedert was the backup. When Brent Selleck was here, Zach Ertz was the backup. We always had the next big guy. Who's the next big guy that's behind Dallas Goedert that can step up? Calcaterra? He had a nice game last week, Grant Calcaterra. But he's had chances to fill in for Dallas Goedert before and never really did anything. So Albert O last year played like 60% of the snaps while Dallas Goedert was out. He had 1 target, I think 0 catches last year. So don't give me that one either. So you got to have depth behind your injured players. Fangio needs to blitz more than he has. Fangio is never going to blitz. How many times do I have to say this to you guys? He's never going to blitz. He is not a blitz-happy guy. But he can run some things. He can blitz a little bit more. Seeing 3 slot corner blitzes last week, I was shocked that he did it that many times. Shocked, Adam. Shocked. Now, the Jalen Carter injury, I'm going to be waiting on my phone all day for the Friday practice report, injury report, says, out, limited, or out, questionable, or probable, or doubtful, whatever. I'm really hanging on the edge of my seat for waiting for later today to see what the deal is with Jalen Carter. That changed the game plan as well. So do I, Barb. We got 1 Super Bowl championship in our lifetime. Okay? We got 2 World Series championships. Only 1 NBA championship. No Flyers championships since I've been alive. They got, 2 in the 70s, I believe, before I was born. I want titles. Brian, thank you very much. Muchas gracias. I want everybody to be subscribing. I can't do this without everybody's help and support. Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network, setting the trends for what sports talk should be. More to come. We added Philly Press Box Radio this week. Got some ideas for some other things. Me and my man Brian have been lagging on coming up with the title for our movie show, but there's going to be a movie podcast on this channel eventually as well. So we're building things here. We're building things. Big Dom is a good guy from what I hear. Absolutely. And he doesn't want to be in the spotlight, but it sells, so they put him out there. Well, if he doesn't want to be in the spotlight, he doesn't have to be doing commercials. He doesn't have to be doing he did the cold open or the halftime open. He did that thing with Jason Kelsey on Sunday night or Monday Night Football earlier in the year. Like, then don't do all that. You don't have to do that. The only thing Dom did was help create more Eagles Italian merch. That is my plus. I'm over him. I'm over him. Big Al, just like I said, and I know it's not a popular opinion. I'm over Jason Kelsey being overexposed. Like I love the guy, one of my favorite Eagles of all time, and maybe a Mount Rushmore Eagle of all time. But he's everywhere. I give him credit for making the dollars. Might as well. Fangio blitzes about 3 to 6 blitzes a game at the most. Yeah, exactly. And 3 of them last week were by Cooper DeJean. The best Eagles security guy was Milt Halstead for Andy Reid. He also was coordinator. I couldn't remember his name, but in my mind I could picture him for Andy Reid. I couldn't tell you if that name was right or not. You like him because he hooked you up with tickets. Oh, okay. Ducky grabbed an opposing player and got him thrown out. Would you be happy if someone did that to Hurts? Yeah, I agree. 2 MLB championships and 2 NFL championships. 0 NBA, 0 NHL. Yeah. It sucks when you're a diehard fan, Trinidad, and your team does not win. Ever. It does make those wins that much more meaningful. I remember in 2008 when the Phillies won my first World Series championship, their second. I literally, no doubt, cried when they won the World Series in 2008. I think I had a miniature heart attack when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Not positive, but I think so. Chet Holmgren is built like an Olive Garden breadstick. I don't know about that, Marshawn. The breadstick might be thicker. What's with big men coming into the NBA like stick figures anymore? You don't get any big men anymore coming into the NBA. It takes years for them to develop. Victor Wembanyama is the same way. I mean, that guy, yeah, anyway. Is Jalen Carter, it says Jalen Carter's questionable, expected return October 20th. I haven't seen that. I don't know where you saw that, Adam. The Eagles website or the Eagles Twitter account didn't put anything out like that. I don't know where the injury happened. I don't know what happened, but man, it's scary. We're going to continue on. We're going to get into the NFL Week 7 predictions here in a minute or two. After I catch up on comments. My favorite story is about FedEx apologized to him in front of the whole team for being a complete asshole to him. I see. You need Kelsey to keep overexposing himself because your Eagles make money when he does. He's arguably your most popular player. Do the Eagles make money when he's on TV now? He doesn't work for the Eagles anymore. He works for ESPN now. In my lifetime, I'm fortunate enough to remember the Flyers Cup wins. Dude, I'm not that old, Ryan. The Phillies 2 titles. I only remember 1. I was born 2 months after the Phillies' first World Series. The Sixers 83. I was 2. So that, yeah. I mean, we're the losingest city in the history of sports. Plain and simple. Time for more parades. I would love a parade. I would. I unfortunately agree with Kelsey take way too much. It's just too much. And I hate saying it, Al. I feel like I'm an anti-Eagle by saying it. But it's just too much. Can't take it. It feels worse when you know your team's better than how they're playing. When they have talent, it's the old cliche thing. Talent on paper doesn't always result in championships. That's where we go back to Dan Orlovsky's comments from ESPN yesterday that we're the most unprepared team in the league. The Eagles have talent. They're just not prepared properly. They're not held accountable. The Phillies weren't held accountable this year. All that matters. It sucks even more when you used to win in the last century and now left to be ranked off. Yeah. Most teams promote their franchise quarterback, the ones that win Super Bowls and play for the team over 10 years, but we promote a center that doesn't even play for the team anymore, Barbara. He doesn't even play. He's retired. He's gone. And the new center, Cam Jurgens, is playing great outside of a couple snap issues. Shotgun snap issues. He's been great. Poor Cam Jurgens living in the shadow. Cleveland is the losingest city of all sports. The Phillies are the only team. Well, they were the first team to lose 10,000 games. The first team to lose 11,000 games. They're the only franchise in the history of the world to have lost as many games. No one's lost as many games as the Phillies. I don't think the combined Cleveland, combined with the Philadelphia, matches Cleveland. The Phillies were the worst. The Phillies are the worst baseball team in the history of baseball, which makes them probably the worst of all sports of all time, Nooms. In terms of people seeing Kelsey, younger new NFL fans seeing how popular it is and go, yo, that guy's cool. My attention span is bad. I'm going to buy his merch. You might be onto that. That might be a fair comment. That's fair. I looked on ESPN NFL injury reports. Okay. Until I see it on the Eagles injury report, Adam, I don't believe anything. Because until the Eagles put it out, it's not official. Phil, don't be ashamed of having common sense. Some people would say I don't have much common sense, but, I love Jason Kelsey, but it is overload. The Eagles team desperately needs tonight. I love this comment. Right now, the Eagles' identity is Kelsey out on the media circuit. This Eagles team does not have an identity. Are they a hard-nosed defense? No. Are they an explosive offense? No. Their identity is question marks. That is the entirety of their identity. Question marks. Sort of like Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift effect. Absolutely. Now, I get Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's good for business. When I promote my pizza shop for the Super Bowl, I promote Taylor Swift. I do. Why not? It's all about the bottom dollar to me. Swiftie truly cares about. Yeah, right. Do you think she even understands it yet? Bro, most new Yankee fans can't even tell you to Mariano Rivera or to Jeter when he played. Yeah, new fans are different for sure. Or you're Eli in that sense. It seems like every year we have to find our identity. Why is that? I think it's a great question, Adam. I think it's a fantastic question. Are you still watching on Facebook, Adam? What's up with that? Why do we have to? That's what training camp is for. That's what the leaders of this team throughout the offseason are for. Why are we in week 7 of the NFL and we don't know what the identity of our team is yet? Adam, this is a fantastic question, but also a question that confuses the living hell out of me. Damn. Man, some of you guys have brought up some banger comments today. You really have. And this one really annoys me when I read it and think about it on the fly. What we shouldn't have to find our identity halfway through the season. It should already be there by now. Maybe we do have an identity, Adam. And the identity of the Eagles is underachieving at this point. Identity is on the head coach and GM, neither of which are nearly as good as the spin doctors would lead you to believe. Look, Nick Sirianni is definitely not as good. Howie Roseman might not be that upper echelon top 2 that we put him at, but he's still a very good GM. And if Howie Roseman was fired, he'd have a job in 30 seconds elsewhere. We all understand that. But does he make mistakes? Does he deserve to be criticized from time to time? Abso-freaking-lutely. Honestly, most people never heard of Travis Kelsey until Mahomes came. He was still a really great tight end. But yeah, the Mahomes factor and the Super Bowl started rolling in, et cetera, et cetera. You guys are the only one that see it that way. People from the outside looking in right now. Y'all ain't playing it like it's like being a doomer. Yeah, well, we're all doom and gloom here. We need 007 to find our identity, I guess. Maybe again. Why are we still on Facebook there? Can we get some locks? You want my picks of the week? There are some bangers of football games this week, AOL. Obviously, the Eagles Giants. I'll make that prediction a little later on in the show here. So the Broncos. Okay, let's see here. I did get last night wrong. I picked the Saints +3, so I'm starting out the week. Last week I was 7-7 on predicting every game against the spread. I'm 50, 40, and 3 this year against the spread. Not too bad. First game is Patriots versus Jags in London. The Jags are 5.5-point favorites. I'm taking the Pats and the points. If the Pats win that game, period, which I don't think they will, I think it'll be a close game. If the Pats win, Doug Peterson is fired. Guarantee it. Seattle versus Atlanta in Atlanta. Atlanta's the 3-point favorites. I'm going to take Atlanta there. Okay. Titans at Bills. Bills are 9.5-point favorites. I am taking the Bills in that game. Okay. Bengals at Browns. Browns are 5.5-point underdogs to the Bengals. I am taking the Browns and the points in that game. The Browns aren't good, but neither are the Bengals. I know they won by 10 against the Giants last week, but it wasn't even that close. So I'm going to go Browns +5.5. I love that. First banger of the week. Game of the week. Texans go to Green Bay to face the Packers. Packers are 2.5-point favorites at home. Love that game. I have no idea how to predict that game. No clue. I'm going to take the home team Packers by 2.5, but that's by a hair. Dolphins go to the Colts. Colts are 3-point favorites. We're taking the Colts in that game. Next banger of a game for NFC North supremacy. The Lions take on the undefeated Vikings. The Vikings are 1.5-point favorites. Sorry, guys. Lions win that game outright. That's it. Giants will skip over. We'll get to the 4 o'clock games in a second. Michael Thomas wrecked. Did he get hurt last night? Did not watch it. All of a sudden, I find myself listening to more Taylor Swift music. It also helps that I have nieces now that are big Swifties. And, last year on vacation, they played a lot of Taylor Swift. So I actually can recognize one of her songs now. Football isn't 100% physical sport. It's 50% physical, 50% mental. The mental aspect of what affecting this. Y'all are acting like you already lost the season. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hot take, can you all win the division? We are winning the division still, in my opinion. Because I still think the Eagles make the playoffs. Fox's Pizza, thank you. Shouting out the #1 pizza shop. There it is. I'll be there all day today, all day tomorrow. Come out and see me, guys. Got hundreds of wings prepped to go for the day. Let's go. Let's go. Cowboys are abysmal right now, and I don't think this Washington team can keep up. I agree. I think they hit a wall at some point, for sure. Lots of gambling on the Green Bay-Houston game. Love Houston on it. I'm going Green Bay. There's quite a few bangers this week, Steve, for sure. Wow, that place is right near Phil's Pizza place. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. I am 52-41. So we are neck and neck. We basically my 3 pushes or what we're differencing in right there, Steve. All right, let's get to the 4 o'clock games. Okay. Raiders go to the Rams. Rams are 6.5-point favorites. I'm taking the Rams, the Raiders are just selling off. Ugly game. Panthers at Washington. The Commies are 8-point favorites. You take Washington there. And another banger, Super Bowl replay. Chiefs versus 49ers. 49ers are 1.5-point favorites. I'm really stuck on this one. I'm taking the Chiefs to win that game right there. We'll get to Sunday Night Football in a second. Y'all are only down 1 game, not even a whole game. I think it's a half a game, right? So that's a half a game. But yeah, I get it. What temperature do you fry your wings? We don't fry our wings. Hey, well, we put them in the pizza oven and bake them. Put the sauce on them, put them in the oven. The sauce caramelizes in the onion on the wing. We make bang wings. Right now, the wings are way too jumbo. They're huge, the wings right now. I hate that they're so wing because you buy them by the pound. You get less per pound when they're this big, but, it is what it is. How is Philly pizza, by the way? My pizza banging. #1 pizza shop in Kennett Square. Who gets fired first, Doug Peterson or Mike McCarthy? Well, if the Jags lose on Sunday, he's getting fired. The Cowboys are off this week, so he will not get fired. If Nick Sirianni loses this week, he might get fired. I think it's Doug Peterson. Like McCarthy, then Nick Sirianni, because I think Nick Sirianni survives the year. I like my picks except for the Browns. Yeah, it's. I got this preconceived notion that the Bengals are a bad team because they're losing games when he's throwing for 400 yards, Joe Burrow. He threw 5 touchdowns. I just don't do it. The Browns aren't very good. I think the Browns defense will shut the Bengals down. And 5.5 points. I don't know if the Browns win outright or not, but I think that's a 3-point game. Remember, until 2 minutes left in the game last week against the Giants, the Bengals were winning 10-7. Just put that out there in perspective. Baked pizza oven win, yeah. I'm a pizza guy. Been a pizza guy for far too long, to be brutally honest with you. I'm ready to hang up my towel or my apron and move on to something else, but that ain't going to happen. Gaslight you. He's hurting right now. He's hurting. He is. He's hurting just like all of us. I'm actually not hurt. I like New York City pies better, but good. I keep hearing New Jersey pies are good elsewhere. It's all about the water, and that New York water is what makes New York pizza so special. Go get a Cancun drink. I love pizza. It's the one thing. Even when I was in Cancun for 5 days, first thing I ate when I got back to my shop was a slice of pizza, and I'm like, I missed it, even though I was only gone for 5 days. He'll be there soon. I got your seat reserved. Oh man. Yes, I know. My man Adam loves the wings. He loves the barbecue. He loves the sweet and spicy. I just added a garlic teriyaki one this week to my menu. One loss does not equate to a Cancun trip. It's not about the wood. The secret is that's why I said water. I said water. You're saying water. You're saying water, and I'm saying water. It's just a matter of pronunciation. Don't let us win another one. Jalen Brown can go scratch. I do a tomato pie with an Eagles logo on it and Parm cheese. It's the new thing. I already got one pre-sold for Sunday. Yeah. All right, Sunday Night Football. Those the New York Aaron Rodgers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a very hard game to predict because I don't know who's starting quarterback for this game. Okay? If it's Justin Fields, I'll take the Steelers +2. If it's Russell Wilson, I still might take the Steelers +2. I hope the New York Jets completely fall on their face for the way that they placate to Aaron Rodgers so much that they put all their eggs in the Aaron Rodgers basket continually year after year. And I just hate Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to be the biggest Pittsburgh Steelers fan on Sunday Night Football. I just am. I can't stand the guy Aaron Rodgers. Not a really huge Russell Wilson fan. I'm not a Justin Fields fan. But man, I need the Steelers to win so freaking bad that game. Love the accents. Love it. That's my Delco accent. Born and raised in Delco, Seaking, PA. So, that's my Delco accent with the water. Yeah, that's just what it is. My Delco mixed with my Italian. Nothing like a hot slice of pizza. The second best thing is a cold slice. I don't really eat cold pizza. I warm it up. The biggest faux pas, the thing you don't do, Duck, is you don't microwave your pizza the next day. It's the worst way to heat up your pizza the next day. You better eat it cold than put it in the microwave, just so you know. Those Jalen Brown sneakers, ugly. I haven't seen them. I'm not a sneakerhead, Marshawn, so I don't even pay attention to them, but I'm sure most, in my opinion, most NBA player sneakers are pretty ugly, in my opinion. Do you mean they actually put face stones in it? Yeah. Don't get me started about Delco. What? You calling me trash? You're talking to the man that used to eat Imperial Pizza and Seeking every single Friday growing up. Frozen pizza clears, yeah. I'm going to give you a little pizza shop story. It's not really a Skip Bayless hot take of the day or call out. One of the biggest things that drives pizza shop owners and pizza makers nuts happened to me last night. It happens all the time at the pizza shop. You slave in the oven, in the kitchen, you make a pizza. Customer comes to pick up the pizza. He pays for the pizza, and he takes the pizza. I got a little spare notebook here. I give him the pizza like this. He takes the pizza and puts it under his shoulder like this. No lie. This happens all the time. And it happened last night. And walks out the door with the pizza under his arm like this. All the time it happens. You carry the pizza like this, not like this. Because you know what's wrong with it? Well, obviously, the pizza's going to slide in the box, especially when it's hot out of the oven and the cheese hasn't congealed yet. It's just going to slide. What's wrong with it is then they're going to get home, open the box, see it, and they're going to call me and complain. Now, luckily, he picked it up right before closing, so I didn't get that phone call complaint last night. But when you tuck a pizza box under your shoulder and walk out of it, Literally, it makes me cringe. It makes me cry. It makes me want to shout, what the hell are you doing? And it happens all the freaking time. And it drives me up a wall. Jenkintown clears. I don't know about that. In Green Bay, they think Tombstone is pizza. Yeah. DiGiorno's, right? Make me an Italian sub. You know what goes on it. Yeah, I remember that. Remember that story? Yeah. Give me, you know what I get. Give me an Italian. You know. That was a story from a while ago. Taco pizza, barbecue wings sound great today. Yeah. The taco pizza I got to be in the mood for. It's a great pizza, but you need a fork and knife to eat the taco pizza. All right. But the barbecue wings always hit. Always hit hard. Who does that to a pizza? A lot of people. The guy last night had to be like 75 years old. The guy last night is one of the guys we make fun of all the time. There are people that come into a pizza shop with their own delivery bags to keep the pizza warm on the ride home. So he put it in a delivery bag and then tucked the delivery bag under his arm. And I'm like, what are you doing? Now you have me ready to order a large pie at 9 in the morning. Well, I won't be until about 10 a.m. But yeah, you can call Fox's Pizza, Kennett Square, 610-444-6060. I'll be there all day, just so you know. You need to hold it like you're a wait. You do, but people don't. And it happens at least several times a week. Hand under the box with your arm out. Yeah, like that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it drives me nuts when it happens. Not pizza, but inner cheese part are really good cold next day. If the pizza don't have red pepper flakes on them, keep that shit. I don't put it on the pizza, but I have a big giant jug of red pepper flakes. I let you put it on. I love red pepper flakes on my pizza. I love it in my pot. When I make my homemade spaghetti sauce at home, there's always red pepper. I'm an Italian. Red pepper flakes are very important in Italian cooking, in my opinion. Very, very important. But not everybody likes spicy. How do you just ignore the chat during the night show? Stop. All right. Now you're just trolling. Okay. I'm a meat lovers guy. Meatball, pepperoni, bacon, extra cheese. Well, that's not a full meat. Like my meat lovers has ham on it, and I don't like ham. But meatball to me is one of the top 5 most underrated toppings on a pizza. Bacon should be on every pizza. Pepperoni is the most overrated topping. You got to go extra cheese. You got to have it nice and toasty. Chili flakes, a little extra Parm cheese. Absolutely. Overrated pizza slice. Well, and pepperoni is an overrated slice. I co-sign that. Yeah. If you don't hold it like a waiter, the cheese could slide off. Absolutely. Absolutely. You ruin the pie. You do. And then you complain to the owner for it looking like shit. Put a sign on the door, hold your pizza. I should do that. You know what? That's a good video. I should do a video of it. For my social media page for the pizza shop and see if anybody picks up on that. That is a great idea. Your idea gave me a new idea. Guys, we got to get back on par here. I've not given my Eagles prediction for the day, for the week yet. Someone needs to tell Sirianni to stop eating pizza. Well, he eats Little Caesars pizza. That's why the Eagles lose, because he's got poor taste in pizza eating, Nick Sirianni. Yeah, know the vibes. What's up, Eric? You're a little late to the show. You are the man. You are the gatekeeper of the Core 12. Yeah, Mr.'s wall in his pity. What's the best ready-to-go-home oven pizza, and why is it Home Run Inn? I have no idea what Home Run Inn is. Sorry. Pizza Hut. As a kid, nothing hit better than, you used to get the little book cards, and you get them turned in if you read enough books for a free pizza. Nothing hit quite like that. That was the best. Lorenzo Pizza on South Street is overrated. Never had it on South Street, but there's one in Westchester I've had. It's okay. They're just, for their big their slices are. We do a 52 slice, 30-inch pizza as well. We can cut it in big 8 slices, but that's just not practical. It's how we find true common ground. Yes, exactly. Pizza, though, the funny thing is, Trinidad, the only thing more opinionated than sports is taste in pizza. Some people might tell me my pizza is the greatest thing in the world. Other people tell me it's the worst thing in the world, because pizza is very subjective, just like our fandom is. What's with a New York slice? It's just cheese and sauce. It's the thinness of it and the water that makes the dough. It's not what's on the slice. It's the way of the slice. Yeah, exactly. Phil doing IKEA style. I'm thinking. So you pick up the pizza, you take it. I got to think. I got some high school kids working tonight. We got to record a TikTok video, and I'll put it out on my Facebook page. Big, thick, crispy, greasy slice. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. My chat baby mama is back. She's been here all day. Little Caesars. And Gino's is vile behavior. Yes, absolutely. You are a major New England city, and you eat Little Caesars. Exactly. I eat my pizza like runway models. How do you get started in the pie making? It was the first person that hired me, a pizza shop in Westchester when I was 14 years old to wash dishes. So I'm 43. I'll be 44 in a few months. My first job was at 14 washing dishes in a pizza shop. I spent 2 years working at Applebee's, 18 months on a cruise ship, and the rest of my working life, I've never not had at least one job, has been in a pizza shop. Started as a 14-year-old dishwasher. One Friday night, the entire kitchen walked out. My boss pointed to me and said, "You're on pizzas," pointed to the buster and said, "You're on grill." And we figured it out. I've been making pizzas ever since. The Pizza Sports Show. Yeah, exactly. We've way gotten off topic here today. Way gotten off topic. Phil, I got a title for your movie show, A Slice and a Flick. I have to think about that one. Phil, you're pizza heavy on the sauce. I think we do put a lot of sauce. People still like extra sauce on it, but I do think I put a lot of sauce on it. Because I think our sauces stand out, top of the line. It used to be me until I changed my indigestion meds, and now I can eat it again. Costco pizzas, Costco hits. All right, back on it. Guys, we got less than 10 minutes left. Eagles, Giants, Sunday. Give me your score predictions now in the comments. All right, I only wrote down 2 scores, okay? Only wrote down 2 scores, okay? I wrote down 2 Eagles victory scores. Can the Eagles lose? I do think the Eagles can lose on Sunday. Will they lose? I don't think they will. I do think it will be a close game. Now, on the Eagles Checkdown, my podcast on the Eagles Pimple podcast, which is also the late night show that you guys complain about all the time, Sunday is definitely a win. Tiger checking in late to the show. Duck saying 28-20. I would love that score. I bet you will be, Adam. 27-13 us. That's a blowout. I don't know if that can happen. Man, you guys are predicting something. I predicted a blowout last week, and it disappointed me. I got a Nick Sirianni blowout, 21-17. That's much more my way. Neighbors don't scare me with Q. I agree. 17-10 Boo Birds. I was a little higher than that. Buffalo pizza is the best. Sweet tomato, thick, watery, sweet crust. Yeah, maybe. All right, so I got the Eagles. I predicted last night on the Eagles check down, 24-17. But I said I might change my mind to 24-20. I am going to stick to my original score, though. I'm going to say Eagles win 24-17. I actually think it's a little bit bigger of a blowout, but the Giants get a late touchdown. I think with 5 minutes left in the game, the Eagles are up 24-10. They give up a late score. They don't get the onside kick, 24-17. But I can see Adam's score coming true here, 23-20. I think a 3 or 4 point game could happen. AOL, I do not think they haven't ruled him in yet, but he practiced in full yesterday. He practiced limitedly the day before, but yesterday on Thursday, he was a full participant in practice. He hasn't been cleared, but once you participate in full contact, basically it's just steps away from being cleared from the concussion protocol. Nick getting fired. He's not going to get fired if he wins. He's not. Just straight up. Remember my score. Barbara, let me go back here. 27-13. I guess Barbara got a copy of the script, right? Giants 14-3 at halftime. Oh, my God. If that's the case, God forbid. And then we come back and win, right? Because your scores were, 17. Yeah, we're losing 14-3 at half, and then we win 17-14. That would be a Nick Sirianni game. 27-16 Eagles from Stevie Fuentes. The only thing that keeps making me lean towards like a 24-23 or a 21-20 Eagles game is that number. Last 8 times the Eagles were the favorite against the spread. The Eagles are 1-7 against the spread. They're only a 3-point favorite. They're 1-7 last 8 against the spread. Really scares me. Really bothers me. We score 3 points in the first quarter, then not in the second quarter at all. Man. Yeah. That would be no bueno. That would be a tough one. I think the Eagles win, guys. I do. I think it's going to be a close game. We got to remember one thing. How many times have Eagles, Giants games, Eagles, any NFC East game been blowouts? It doesn't happen often. The NFC East games are always hard fought. It's just like the AFC West. They're tight, tough, hard fought games. The offense will crawl to a 7 first half, 20 by end. Giants might outscore that. I don't think the Giants can. Giants are averaging 16 points a game. You got to remember that as well, guys. And Nick Sirianni, 50 burgers, anything over 27. That is true. The scripts are sometimes changed on the fly. That Jets-Bills game was supposed to go to the Jets, and they saw the drama and changed it. True. Will Barkley be mad at the Giants? Mad? Nah. What's the odds of another fan blow up for Sirianni? If it's a 21-20 game, very high. Saints have lost 5 straight. Ouch. Yeah, so much for them being 2-0 to start the season, right? The Giants do stink, but so did the Browns. I'm just looking at some of these numbers here, for the Giants, They give up 20 points a game. They only score 16 points a game. They don't give up much passing yards. They give up a lot of rushing yards. They don't commit mental penalties. They don't create turnovers, but they don't turn it over. They get a lot of sacks. Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, probably out. Tibbs, out. Andrew Thomas, out. There's so much going into the game that my mind is like in a pretzel trying to figure out what the final score will be. But I'm going to stick very basic to 24-17. Eagles win. I am not confident. Let me tell you, normally I'm pretty confident in my predictions. I have zero confidence. I might not even make a bet, not even one single game parlay on this Eagles game, because I have zero idea how the ball's going to bounce this game. Who's going to get the ball? What's going to happen? Whatnot. I've never felt so unsure of a game in a while. Bo Nix getting better. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I don't know what his stats were last night. I just know they won. Let me see. What was Bo Nix last night's stats? I'm curious now. You've sidetracked me. I mean, they weren't very special. 16 of 26, 164 yards, no tutties, no picks. He did rush for 75 yards. That's kind of good. Bo Nix don't do anything for me. I highly doubt the Lawrence Burns miss out this week. Yeah, until I see today. That's why I'm having so much trouble, because I don't know who's playing. We don't know if Jalen Carter's playing. We don't know if Dexter Lawrence is, Brian Burns. They haven't practiced at all this week. Not even limitedly, Tiger. And there were some reports. I've been checking some Giants websites, and they're saying there's some fear that they might not play. Rather looked only a little bit better than Bryce Young, very raw. Absolutely, that's obvious. Bo Nix is not making as many mistakes and running more. Should be a running back. Sounds I like that. Yes, if Jalen has a game without turnovers and the defense continue to get better, can they get better though if Jalen Carter isn't playing? That's why we're curious. His shorts are fire. I don't know. Phil Stiefel and Jim Rome for My Sports. Hey, I appreciate it. Bo Nix sounds like someone Kevin Costner would draft in draft day. I still yet to watch that movie ever. Just so you know. Jalen Hurts completes 2 passes up the middle of the field. That would be a win, right? Guys, you're watching Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. Setting the trends. Oh, good day. The world is not collapsing. The Eagles should win on Sunday. The Flyers, they play Saturday at a regular time. Yo, can we just cheer out that we get to watch a full Flyers game on Saturday? Because the game starts at 7. And we can watch the whole thing. We're less than a week away from Sixers season starting. I got guests lined up for basketball next week. The Phillies are as far from our memory banks as possible. This game is no cakewalk. I've been saying that all week. Saying it all week. It's MetLife. It's the Giants. Division rival. Everyone brings their game, their A game. Yeah, Barbara, I hope everybody in the Core 12, I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I truly do. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be warm. Bubbles Up. It's a lot of things. Bubbles Up. Bubbles Up was the last song released right after Jimmy Buffett passed away. It was the last song he wrote. Bubbles Up basically is a nautical term that if your boat capsizes, you look for the bubbles and they will bring you to the surface. So to me, the song to me means, and if you listen to the words of the song, if life's got you down, follow the bubbles. The bubbles will help you get to the surface and get you through your struggles, your mental struggles, your anxiety, your stress, your depression. Rise to the top with the bubbles, and they'll get you through it. Okay? The Eagles need some bubbles up this weekend. They need to rise up with the bubbles. Okay? So go listen. Go Google. Go on YouTube and look at the song Bubbles Up, or go read the lyrics of Bubbles Up. It's a very strong, for me, the meaning of the song helps me with some of my stress, some of my anxiety, and some of the issues I deal with in life. So Bubbles Up is a very, very strong song to me. Jimmy Buffett gave us his greatest gift as his last gift. MetLife is a bad field, obviously, to play on. Everybody, you heard Matvei Michkov say it's trash. That's our slogan. It is our slogan. I've adopted that slogan. Hey, guys, we got to the weekend here, okay? We got to the weekend. Team effort. It's almost here the weekend. We got you guys, normal people got a few hours to go. Me, I still got like 12 hours till the weekend. But, yeah, bubbles up to you guys all. Go Birds. Michkov Mania. Running wild, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Tell some friends. Can we get to 200 subscribers by Monday? Please. I'm begging you. Go Birds. Bubbles up to y'all.